Mhm.
Watch the #1 family movie in America.
What's going on? RJW Network. That name sounds familiar. How have you been? You're bad. Can't get kicked off YouTube. Doom, doom, doom. Mhm. What's going on? I play Minecraft at a roadblock. Welcome to the channel. Give me a second while I get some things, get some other cameras hooked up. I'm gonna be doing some um, app building, uh, more specifically, uh, building AI agents, voice agents. Yeah, I found the daylight. What's up, Mystic Mountain? What's good, man? Yeah, I found the daylight. I'm a day walker. Yeah, day walk, the rare breed. How you been today, Mystic? See, you found daylight too. I got off last night. Well, this morning, I guess around 5 o'clock. Got off at 5, went to bed around 6, got up at 12. I'm the type I only need I only need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I can actually function on less, but 6 to 8, I'm good. Yes, sir. All is good today. All is good. Yeah, I made sure I got my journaling in before I got busy. I set out my daily objectives for the day,
Choose to make your presence felt. With the
and what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to block out a, a 3 hour window of time that I'm going to use for just straight focus work. This is all like prep stages. I treat this place like my sanctuary. This is like holy ground. I treat it like heavenly. This is where the creativity goes on. This is where the manifesting goes on. This is where I get to express my God power. You think about something and then you create it. You're taking something from the physical, from the ether, the etherical, the, the ether realm, and bringing it into the physical, tangible. Doesn't that describe what God does? We are creators. We are creators. We speak, we think, we create. That's what separates us from other mammals, or one of the things that separates us. The ability to conceptualize and then put into motion to have a physical product or a physical result. Um, you know, it all comes down to there's what's referred to as the seven universal laws, or the seven hermetic laws of the universe. Um, some of those seven laws kind of overlap, uh, but the number one law, it supersedes everything else, but it still encompasses everything else at the same time. But the number one law is everything is mental, or everything is mind. Um, and that can be understood in many different ways. Um, Everything that we see, other than Mother Earth and her naturalness, but everything we see started in the mind of someone. This chair that I'm sitting on, the screen that I'm looking at, the foundation of all of this came from mind. So the number one law of the universe is everything is mental, everything is mind. When you learn that, then okay, now you got the foundation. Now you can start controlling things. And you start controlling things by using your mind to control vibrations, frequencies. Um, okay, let's take a habit. what's going on? Um, nothing going. I'm getting ready to start building some apps. I'm get ready to do a 3 hour focus work focus where I'm, let's see, go to my journal, my daily journal. Let's see what's on the daily agenda. You know, if you're going somewhere but don't know where you're going, you very well could be going in circles, especially if you keep saying this, seeing the same shit. Well, that's life. Unless you have a direction. If you keep seeing the same things in life, that means you're going in circles. So you have to have a direction. But I like to get sidetracked. But yes, I'm doing good. Anyway, um, you have to have a direction. So one way that I keep up with my direction and make sure that I stay focused on my direction is to journal. And I have a specific way that I journal. You know, there's many ways. I kind of developed a style that works for me. Um, and I would encourage everybody. What bad word did I say? Thank you. You have a good weekend too. Where was I at? I was talking about direction, knowing where you're going, and how journaling is um, very critical to me staying focused on where I'm going. I've got direction. This is like my GPS. Not only my GPS, but it's my receipt book. So every day I write it down. I like to um, start off the day with gratitude. Um, Gratitude to the creator. You're right. You're right, Mystic. You know, nobody's we shouldn't expect things from people. You know, if you want it, go get it. It's kind of that simple. You know, you don't look at a pan and say, I'm hungry and expect to be full. You have to put something into that pan. You have to do the work, do the actions, put the right ingredients in it. Then you can eat, you know, and then you can't plant a seed today and expect the harvest tomorrow. No, that seed has to go through its stages of maturity until you can reap that harvest. So I like to think that I'm planting seeds when I'm writing in my journal. I'm planting the seeds and then I'm watering those seeds with my intention and with my action. At the end of the season, when it's harvest time, my harvest is going to be bountiful. Now, how you gonna tell me to shut up? I ain't missed it, but yeah, I can see you. Nothing, nothing going or whatever. Where you from? Your name looks Nigerian. From Nigeria. I've got um a good friend and client who's Nigerian. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be going to my journal to see what the daily objective is. And I also started to say that I like to start my day off with gratitude. I choose three things that I'm thankful for, and I write those things down. It may seem insignificant, but trust me, that's like that's like the key ingredient to getting what you want in life. It's like the yeast in the bread. You know, if you're gonna make bread and don't put yeast in it, it ain't gonna do what it do. So giving gratitude is that yeast makes it blow up. So gratitude first thing. Second thing is my definite chief aim. Um, my defi- my definite chief aim is my number one goal that I'm pushing for in life. You know, I've got many goals, and I write all of those goals down so that I will have, direction on where I'm going. Um, but my definite chief aim is my top goal, the number one. And
Been in a free fall.
when I designed my definite chief aim, I designed it in a way to where a lot of my smaller goals were covered under my definite chief aim. So um, I use my definite chief aim to force program my brain. I use it to force program my brain by repeating it multiple times during the day. And when I say multiple times, I'm talking at least 6 times. I've got it set on my phone as a reminder every 3 hours. An alarm goes off, and I must recite my definite chief aim before I turn off the alarm. That's the rule. Um, and whatever your definite chief aim is, it's that seed that you're planting. And every time you repeat it and contemplate and think about it, you're watering, you're watering that seed. But let me not get sidetracked again. Okay, after the definite chief aim, then I have my affirmation. My affirmations are targeted things that I tell myself that's relevant to how I'm feeling for the day, or you know, if I'm stressed in my head, my affirmation for that day may be, um, I am in control of my mind and I don't let things influence the way that I feel. Whatever. If I use my affirmation to balance the feeling that I'm having for the day. Um, that's a technique called transmutation. It's like instead of getting mad, you get not mad. Can't really say happy, but you could be happy. But basically taking the opposite. And that goes back to one of the seven laws of the universe. Polarity, positive and negative. Everything has two poles, but they're basically the same thing. So it's like two wings and one bird. Think about hot and cold. Hot and cold is the same thing. Hot and cold is the same thing. The only way that they vary is in degree. You can't look at a thermometer and say, okay, this is where hot starts, and then this is where cold starts. No, that they're the same thing, of the same thing, just different degrees. It's like being a body, but on that body, you have the right side of the body and the left side of the body. Still the same body. Hot and cold is the body. Right and wrong is the body. You know, all truths are half truth, and every half truth can be reconciled. All right, I'm blabbing too much. Time to get to work. Time to get to work. Time to get to work. Oh yeah. The daily objective for today: train my demo voice agent, create structure in my product creation. Got in the last few days, I've started 5 different apps or programs or whatever you might call it, streams of revenue. Let's put it that way. Um, and now I need to develop a way to keep everything together and and not get so scattered, have stuff everywhere on the computer. No, I need a central location um that I can go to. And having an ADHD mind, I don't fight against my superpower. I use my superpower to my advantage, I
A
will.
Replit agent.
I'll switch from product to product, or from project to project, but I do it in a disciplined way. But I don't just go willy nilly. The ADHD, I get it into control. And one way I get it under control is by journaling. Gives me direction. Not only does it give me direction, but it reminds me, we're human. So you have to expect a human to do human things. And what a human does do is they forget. But I can remind myself every day. It's a simple process, but the powers that be would rather we not. They would rather we sit online and consume tons and tons of, you know, brain rot. I refuse to do it. I take control of my mind, or as much control as I can. And when you control your mind, or when you start taking control of your mind, you take control of your life. Like, seriously, so much is mental. And that goes back to the number one law of the universe. Everything is mental. Um, if you want to do something, it's going to start in the mind. So I think one of the number one things for me was first to realize that I had control of my mind. And then number two was to actually start trying to control my mind. And it's more than willpower. Willpower is kind of bullshit. Willpower is like, it's like it's a quick fix. It doesn't last long. You might wake up one day motivated, and that shit could be gone, before the afternoon. But discipline, now we're talking God level shit when we say discipline. Because think of the universe. The universe is disciplined. That sun comes up every morning on schedule. That's discipline. So if I consider myself an image of God, then I should conduct myself as such. Yeah, I mean, only got like three people in here. I say it again for the one in the back top because I have ADHD and I'm feeding my superpower. You want me to show you? And it's only 2 tablets. I use this one to keep up with the chat. I'm using that one um, to play my music. The MacBook Air is, the workstation for this right here. And then the MacBook Pro it's just for some other shit. If I do a lot of shit, man. The start doing too much on one computer. Take video editing, for instance, or any kind of graphic, 3D design, whatever. It's gonna slow down the computer like a motherfucker. Even just cutting on the camera. Like yesterday, I had so many pages pulled up. So I bet you I had probably 100 tabs pulled up, spread across 4 different desktops. And I got to a point to where I was trying to get a video to play, and every time I hit the button, it was just, like it was buffering. I just had too much shit going on. Yeah, they're kind of expensive. Brand new, but I don't have the brand new one. Like this is a 2020, and this is the 2012. Now the 2012 is the MacBook Pro. It's actually better than the 2020 MacBook Air. Um, the only thing I don't like about the MacBook Pro is they
At Farm Bureau Health Plans, we are your
it's too
neighbors.
old.
Your
They
friends,
don't
partners in health. We
they
hope
don't update
serves
that version
care.
anymore. So, but I mean, it's just as fast. Matter of fact, the camera's better, the video quality is better, the screen is better, and I used to be a hardcore Android guy, anti-Apple, because I'm a tech dude and I know the benefits of Android over Apple. But I got suckered into an iPhone. You got OCD. Yeah, I guess we all got something, a little wrong with it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I got suckered into Apple by getting an iPhone. Probably the worst mistake I could have did. Um, iPhones don't work well with Windows computers. More so now than back in the day. Back in the day, they didn't work at all together. So trying to transition from Android and Windows days to the Apple platform, it's like once they get you, they got you. They've got some good shit, but they're not the best. I love Samsung. That's what I had prior to my iPhone. I loved it. Loved it better than my iPhone. Um, there are certain things that Apple does that um, I don't know. They make things easy if you've got a lot of Mac products, but they don't give you a lot of freedom in what you can do, which is one of my problems that I had with it. Like everything was free on the Android platform, seemed like, and you know, Apple made claims to be first in certain things, but they weren't. Um, when the iPhone first came out, I already had a phone that was touchscreen, had slide up keyboard. I mean, slide up screens, keyboard, um, and I had it hat to where I could tether it to my laptop. So I was using it as a portable modem. I had that shit before the iPhone came out. And that was a Windows phone. This was before Android. No, it wasn't before Android. Same time as Android, but Android was in its beginning phases. And like I said, this was a Windows operating system phone. It was the XV6700, I believe it was. Ba, ba, ba. All right, it's time to get to it. Get some more cameras going. Get my desktop showing. Oh yeah, and to answer, yo, where you what country are you in? Because I know I heard like it was real bad in the UK. Like we have a little more freedom here, not much more, but we don't really have to worry about that. But I heard out there in the UK, yeah, you can't just get on there and start running your trap about anything. Why, why? But another reason why, oh yeah, England, I heard. Yep. Yeah. How bad is it? Like what who determines what's good and bad? What if you curse, like say fuck, they gonna knock on your door? Or do you have to say fuck you and direct it to somebody? What, 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 what? I used to. I don't I don't do it anymore. It was an addiction that I had to overcome. God damn. Shut the fuck up. Say, move, baby. Motherfucker. Get that moving. Get out of here. I said he scared the shit out of me. I had my damn headphones on. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? I just got back from the funeral. Okay. Yeah. Sound like a bunch of soft motherfuckers who I don't know. Who who's that soft that they can't. I mean, I grew up where as a game we would make fun of it, you know, like cracking jokes. It's a joke. Yo, my daughter scared the shit out of me. The microphone picked up his bark and like amplify that shit into the headphones. So sharded about sharding on myself.
Very early on. She just knew she was gonna have to work.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be looking for a YouTube guy. And why? PhD at its finest. Mm, 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 mm. All right, let me update my thingamajigabob. Update my description and stuff. Quit being lazy. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on Restream. I don't know why Restream only works on Safari. Uh, yeah, I feel you. I and see that's the thing. That's the addiction. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was my escape. And I'm probably a lot older than you. And that escape I learned was a trap. That's why I had to quit. That game is literally sucking days of your life out of you. I have a motto: no time to waste, because I've wasted too much time in my life. I wasted a lot of time gaming. I would get off work, go get a six-pack of beer, sit down in my gaming chair, and play all the way till it was time for me to go to bed and get up the next morning to go to work.
You think you're fine after a big accident like this happens.
All over
Most people
again.
don't realize that even accidents that seem
And it was my escape. But what was it doing? It was, oh my God, it had me trapped. It was a drug, you know? Drugs don't have to be packaged in a pill form. It's a digital drug. And what are the results of it? I'm not being hard on you or that, but I'm just saying in my case, I had to ask myself, okay, what's gonna be the result of this 5 years from now? If I keep this up. I got shit I'm trying to do. I got, everybody only has 24 hours in a day. Everybody has that same 24 hours. I spent too many years fucking up those 24 hours. Look, let me tell you, no time to waste. I just built I built this yesterday. It's a it's a group. Can you see it? Maybe you can. But this is the logo. Um, no time to waste. The time is now. Well, let me ask you something, Nibiru. Um, are you happy with where you are in life? Because if you're happy where you are and you've got everything that you want, I'd say hell, keep playing games and keep watching TV. Yo, I used to procrastinate too. And guess what? Tomorrow never comes. Like literally, it never fucking comes. Never. The time is now. Bro, get you one of these. A notebook.
Yes.
It's so fucking simple. You just have to discipline yourself to do it. That's the hardest part. But disciplining yourself to do it becomes a habit after, a while. So not like beating yourself every day. Every day journal, give gratitude, um, your definite chief aim, affirmations, a daily task, and daily objective. That daily objective is to further what you want in your life. Like if you have a goal of, um, I don't know, having $100,000, write that in the book. But then map out that path to $100,000 and then break it down into micro steps. And every day do one of those micro steps. And like I said, the hardest thing is forcing yourself to do it every day. But after a couple of months, it becomes habits. Then when you miss a day, you're like, oh man, but I gotta get back to it. Let me show you. And it's a receipt book. The same dopamine hit that people get when they scroll TikTok or YouTube shorts or whatever, you're getting a dopamine hit. I've hacked my brain to where this is my dopamine hit. Looking through the days, seeing what I had planned for the day and what I got finished every day. Every day. Now I can see progress. Seeing progress is like adding fuel to a fire. It's like a fat person seeing the first signs of a six pack. They ain't about to quit now. They done seen two little knots.
Cryptocurrency securely in 6 easy steps. Create and verify your Coinbase account. Add your payment method, like a bank account, debit card, or wire. Select buy from a list of trade options.
And listen,
Find the crypto
I'm
or buy.
I'm man, sign up for my group, man. It's free. Um, I talk about, well, I will be talking about my systems and other systems as well. But man, listen, you don't have any time to waste. Like, if you're 42, you know 52 is just right around the fucking corner. You still gonna be playing games at 52? Okay, now what about 62? Bro, you gotta start now. The time is now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes.
Rise to always
Always keep saying.
not be like that, no matter what happens, the storm storm nothing. Right. So we've learned to put one foot in front of the other. Prepare for the storms. Passes.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But guess what? You have the power. You have the power to get yourself out of that. I was depressed. I was on antidepressant. This was after the 2008 recession. I went from making 150,000 a year to making about 50, and my bills were the same. And oh man, I was just I felt like I was in the worst place of my life. And with the mind, it wasn't the antidepressants was making it worse actually. But I went cold turkey on the antidepressants. And this is when I actually started focusing on controlling my mind. And there's a saying, if you walk 30 miles into a forest, to get out of that forest, you have to walk another 30 miles. Um, Not necessarily true. That's if you're going back the same way you came in. But you have that power. You and only you have that power to change how you feel, um, things that you're not happy about yourself. You have that power to change it. And the powers that be will give you distractions like games, TV, sports, even religion to make you just forget about it. It's not important. Play this game. Watch this TV show. Listen to these songs. Watch this advertisement so you can go. They're controlling the mind. You have to take control of your mind. Take back control of your mind. Bro, yes. Antidepressants make it worse. They make it worse. And in my experience, the antidepressants, and they had me on many, because they were trying to figure out which one would work for me. And you start taking an antidepressant, it takes like 2 weeks for it to get into your system. So you've been fucked up for like 2 or 3 weeks. Then they say, "Oh, this ain't working. We'll put you on this." And then the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm not no fucking guinea pig. So I quit cold turkey. I stayed up for 3 days straight. Insomnia. Could not close my eyes. But that was right at the time I had to take control of my mind. I had to go to the root of the problem. Number one law of the universe is everything is mental. If there's a problem that you want to fix, you have to go to the root of it. The root of every problem is mental. I had to go to the mind. Okay, so I broke it down. Why am I stressed? Um, because of bills. Because I'm not making as much money as I used to. Uh, Relationship issues, which came from money. All right, so let's take control of it. Am I alive? Yes. Am I able bodied? Yes. Okay. Be thankful for that. Okay. Gratitude. Start it with gratitude. Be thankful for what you do have because you could be a lot fucking worse. You know, you have to be faithful with the little things before you can be given the big things. So be thankful for what you already have. If you can't be thankful for what you have, you gotta ask, damn sure ain't gonna be thankful when you have. I mean, you feel me? Yo, that's weird. You stopped completely and had zero withdrawal. That is amazing. Because that's one thing that they constantly told me was do not quit cold turkey. And I couldn't understand why. But when I did, I'm glad I did. Um, but I started controlling my mind. And then I started journaling to track my progress and to make sure that I stayed on target. Because for a while, I was being busy, but the busyness was I was going in circles. Hey, I'm gonna drop a link to the group. I mean, you know that is if you want. Man, what the fuck is that? Hey, Pop. This radio is loud. Uh, Come to the door and come outside or whatever. Hey, hold on for a second. I got some company that pulled up, but we gonna get back to our conversation, brother. Because I wanna help. I wanna share what I have, what I've learned to help you. What's up?
you first heard about creative finance, did you think it was a scam?
Yeah.
Be real. You did.
Sounded too good to be true.
Sounded too good to be true. So it the same thing for me, you guys. 11 years later, I'm still doing hundreds of these transactions every single year. And it blows my mind. Here we are at a house, 17742 West Hermosa Lane in Surprise, Arizona. It's a house that I got. No cash, no credit, no bank. I got paid up front to buy the house. Here's the address right here. I'll even give you a link to the documents, the closing documents. I'll give you a link to prove to you this on a scam. And I went through a closing.
1 second, y'all. I did it, JoJo. What you saying? Okay.
So scary.